Hey folks, I'm Damon from Modern Music Studio, as you can see here. I'm going to do a little bit of Zeppelin today. So I'm going to take you through about 30 minutes of guitar lessons involving Led Zeppelin songs. So we're going to start out with a couple easy ones. This one is Custard Pie. This one starts on an A power chord here. So you're going to go. So what's happening there is I'm going down and up with my strumming. So I'm going. So there's 3 beats on that first chord. There's 3 beats on the next chord that has an open and a 4. That's like an A6 chord. So it's like an A power chord and an A6 chord and then an A7 chord with that G there, 5th fret with the D string. So we're going up the D string, 2, 4, 5. So what's going on here? And we're going down, up, down, and then the next chord, up, down, up. And then we just hit that 5th fret one time. So, and that's going from the A power chord to that G there. And you kind of hit a little bit of the G chord. Those open strings there if you want. Yeah, so it sounds a little bigger. And your next thing is you're going to hit this D power chord. So that's D, and then D, D flat, C, C, B, B flat, all power chords. So. And then you get the E power chord in the 7th fret, and then he hits those 4 middle strings on the 10th fret there. So that's an F power chord and a G power chord. So from that E, so let's do the last part one more time. We got E chord, E power chord, and then 10th fret of those 4 middle strings there. So it's kind of like a D minor 11 or something like that, without the D. So how else could you look at that? It's kind of like an F with a G bass, I guess. So let's do that E riff again. So, then F to G power chord back to A. So do the whole thing one more time. I'll do it a little slow in case you want to try to jam along with it. 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 1. E. Okay, so that's Custard Pie. Here's another easy one. This is like a blues and E type of deal. Like the E7 kind of thing. This is Bring It On Home. This is going to have a little riff here. Now that is the B note of the D string, 7th fret, and the D note of the G string together. That's an A and a C sharp. Then we have a hammer on from G to G sharp, and then we're going to go G to open, G to E, I mean. So. So there's just a couple scratches between each chord. Or in this case, the hammer-on riff. And then you got another riff in the E minor pentatonic scale. So you got so what I'm doing is I'm going, that's 5th fret hammer on and then 4th fret hammer on. then to the low E, and then this second fret of the G string, bend. And if you look up here to the octave, so that's the 7th to 9th on the D, 7th to 9th on the G, back to your E root on the 5th string. So that's the 2nd string, 10th fret. Part of your E minor pentatonic scale right there in that position. So once again, this one was. That's a little A power chord to end on there. Alright, let's see what else we got. Here's another one in E. The well-known Whole Lotta Love, to say the least. So Jimmy Page said that he did a riff in here where he kind of... So basically we got an E power chord here. We're going to kind of pedal off of that E bass note. So you can start practicing that a little bit just by going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... So I guess one of his tricks was when he does the slide, he goes into the B string, the B note on the E string, 7th fret. And when he hits this D note here, he kind of hits the D string with it. So he kind of bends that note a little bit, so you have those two same note but ringing against itself a little bit. So see, you're trying to get that double note thing happening there. Just D to E for the Whole Lotta Love part. And then after the drum solo, there's a guitar solo, and it's coming out of the E minor pentatonic scale. They're going to use this flat 5th right there a little bit, so. And it moves up to a couple positions, so we'll take it apart. I'll do the whole thing and then we'll take it apart a little bit. So. Okay, so first we got, and that's your E minor pentatonic scale with the flat 5th a little bit. And those double E notes fit in there too, so. Okay, so here we're up in the top position. I think you can see what I was doing there pretty good. Kind of a strange phrase. got to work on your timing a bit. Listen to what Paige is doing on there. But let's see, when we get back up here. So that's one of those where you're bending the 15th fret of the 2nd string, and you get that pinky underneath there on the same fret. Now here I'm coming up to the 17th fret and giving that 20th fret a 1.5 bend, an extra wide bend. With a little pull off there. Then we're going to do another 1.5 step bend on the small string here. So that's part of that pentatonic minor position there. Then he goes major pentatonic to kind of seal it with a kiss or something. Alright, so anyway, whole lot of love. Here's another one. Here's the Rover. So this one's got a cool riff to it. So what's happening there is you're sliding into the E. It's an E minor pentatonic. Give it a little tug on a couple of these notes here and there. A little bend on them. You got your bend here. And then we've got the F sharp minor chord. E, E to D. They kind of slide. He slides the power chords around that. And then A to E. F sharp minor, E to D. A to E. Then we go down. Okay, so the chords going down to be F sharp minor, E, D, C sharp minor, B, A, and that little pull off 3-2 open there, G, F sharp, E. So So yeah, that last time I kind of remembered how he gets into a little picking thing. Kind of like going bass, middle, high, middle. And then he's kind of sort of raking to the top of the note of the next word. So, cool song there, cool riff. And moving along here. Here's one that I like a lot. Out on the Tiles. Fairly simple, but has a really cool riff to it. So, it starts with the A octave to the G octave. Of course, when you're doing these octaves, you want to mute all the strings except for the ones you're playing at that time. So I've got the A string muted by the bottom of this finger, and I've got the rest of the finger muting everything else, And underneath this finger's note, I'm touching that string too, so that one's muted out. So. If you count my fingers in the way, but that's that third fret of the big string. So it's A to G to A G, A G, A G, so. Then we're going to an F sharp major triad to its octave. So that's F sharp, B sharp, C sharp, F sharp. And then it gets into the Mixolydian mode by bringing in this natural E there. So it's going Mixolydian, but right there it brings in an A, and it gets ready to go more into the bluesy F sharp scale. See how that's flat fifth from the F sharp minor pentatonic flat fifth scale. So he mixes up his scales there, that's why it sounds so cool. Alright, I'm going to do that last riff that was a little different. Wait. Okay, so I think you can see what's going on there. Then we got E and A down there. And the whole thing kind of, repeats. That's basically that. Alright, here's Achilles' Last Stand. So this is based off of an F sharp minor sharp fifth chord. So this chord has a middle finger on the second string. That's where the sharp fifth comes in. The rest of it's an F sharp minor chord. So just go up 5 strings there. And then, so you got pull off on the second, third, and then open there. So, and then we're going to E minor 7. And then you got a little riff. Now that is the top of an E minor chord and the top of an F sharp minor chord. That's B flat, B minor 7 to a B minor. So, got a little riff. That's 7th fret and 8th and 9th. And then it goes to, it's like verse. Simple 5s. Goes on like that, and then eventually you get into power chords. Whoops. First one is E, D, D sharp, E. That time you skip the D sharp and you do D, E, F at the end. So. Might go back to that. I can't really recall right now. Kind of like digging these all out of my head from memory, but let's see. I know when he gets there, then you got this low riff. E, F sharp, G, A, B, G, C, D, E, F sharp, G, E. And then that's when I get back to the verse, I think. That kind of thing, and then later on. Okay, so let's see, moving on along here. Got a couple more songs to do. Here's one I figured we'd just do the solo. So a lot of people know how to play Stairway to Heaven, but here's the solo for anyone who's interested in that. So. Okay, so we're in the A minor pentatonic first position to start. Bending that D note up to an E. Let's see, gotta get in speed for that. Yeah. So you end on an F, that's the strange thing, because that's the note you're coming out of the scale, but that's where the F chord drops. So it makes sense. So. Easy enough there in the second position, minor pentatonic. Okay, so that's a mess, but here goes the next part, sliding up into the 12th fret. So right there. One more time through. So that's, easy enough. So that one's kind of interesting. You gotta pull off to the 12, but make sure you switch your finger back over to 13. So that's just, you go up and down and pull off. Something like that. Let me get back into it. Then we move up here to the first position up in the octave. So once again, see I got that finger there? Let's see. Then we're going to be on this A string with that 1.5 step bend. And then on the E, 1.5 step bend. Using the flat fifth on that one. And then we're up to the octave position again. Okay, and those chords once again are A minor, G, and F in the back of that solo. They say, Jimmy Page said he did 3 improvised takes, and that was the best one. And they used the whole take, supposedly, so pretty good take. Alright, let's see, I've got Black Dog is another one, so probably finish with Black Dog. Let's see how we do that. So, look at our A minor pentatonic scale. You know how sometimes you can put these chromatics in there, not just for the flat fifth here, but sometimes right here between the flat 7 and the root. So, Black Dog does some of that. So we start on the E note, 7th fret A string. So the first thing is 7, 5, 6, 7, 7. Kind of roll that finger over if you want. Here we went to the C to the A. D to E, 7th to 9th. And then D to E to D there. So. So I'll speed it up a little bit. Alright, there's a pause while he sings. Does that a few times, and then like I think on the 4th time, you go with the string lower. And the little timing issue, kind of an offbeat kind of thing. Okay, so those are the beginning parts. Okay, now this time I'm going to add that second part to it. Okay, so let's go on to the next rhythm part before we're done here. This is kind of an A with that G thing. I got a little C note in there. Let's see, after we go. I think you can see easy enough what I was doing there, but here goes the other one. There's one last one for you. Thanks a lot. Come see us at Modern Music Studio. Whoops. just another little Jimmy Page tidbit. So thanks a lot, everybody. Hope to see you over at Modern Music Studio. Thanks, Jeremy, and everybody over there. And we'll catch you all next time for some Beatles. All right.